Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So happy to see you. Oh my goodness. And how was dinner? I tell you, we are very, very blessed. And so for tonight's service, you want a handout? Yep. There's a big foot on it. You see that? If you get too warm, you will indicate that by just going, oh my God. And then we'll know.
Fainting.
You could faint, but I'd rather you not. We're already too warm. Okay. Roberta, do you know how to do the adjustments? Great. So, do you know, I don't know if you know this, but I am incredibly happy to be back with all of you. And couldn't get that refreshment or that peace or that visit to Jerusalem or that time with my daughter without the leadership of this congregation. And I just want to do a shout out to Donna and Vanessa Huckleby, Dr. Roy Schutzingle, Eddie Appel, Sherry and David Meyer, Jeff and Eli Swat, Roberta and Dave Malcolm, Holly and Bob Bennett, and Elliot Adler, who led services and Torah study and added guitar and harmonica during the services. I just want to do a big shout out to all of you. Thank you so much. I so joyfully, so grateful. So you guys, let's begin. We're going to start by saying that the Parsha is called Ekev. And for those of you in the front row, can you tell me what is the most dominant theme of this image? You don't have one. You need one. What do you see? What do you see? Someone walking, yeah. But there's something really big there right in front there. What is it? A foot. That's right. Because the word Ekev means heel. And so we're going to be talking about sometimes we step over things, we overlook them. So we're going to be talking tonight about how little things matter. And I just want to do a shout out ahead of time to David Meyer and Jake Nalangan for the music tonight. This shall be the reward when you listen to these commandments, then you observe and perform them. You are loved and blessed. So let's begin on page 644 with Hevenu Shalom Alecha. 1, 2, 3, and... Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom, Hinei Matov, Manayim, Shebetalim, Alechem, good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. So let's turn back now to page 120. I'm going to invite Roberta Malkin to come up and bring in the lights of Shabbat. And I'm going to ask you to read with me the reading, that little sentence by Kevin Hall. Together, we make an impact with every step we take, with every word we say. Please stand. Bring in Shabbat. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Please wave or connect or smile or wink or something to the people around you.
Sherry, do you have any clips?
So in your handout, there's a statement by William H. McRaven, U.S. SEAL Admiral. He says, every morning we were required to make our beds to perfection. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. And by the end of the day, you realize that the first thing you completed became the start of accomplishing many things. If we do the little things right, we can aim for getting bigger things right. Please turn to page 138 for L'Chadadi. course, on different time zones. The Sabbath bride has been coming into homes and sanctuaries. So now it's her turn to come to Congregation Beshalom. Let's welcome her. She is so beautiful tonight. She is radiant. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'tzohola. Toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. La 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 la, the party. La 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 la, the kala. La 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 la, B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat, Yekad. La 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 la, the party. La 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 la, Yekad kala. La 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 la, B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat, Yekad. Please be seated. The Sabbath bride has definitely arrived. Page 144. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei rabban, v'yamad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, vayimeru. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach, la'alam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei d'kudashah. La'ela min kol b'chata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tamiran v'yama, vayimeru. Page 146, please stand. La 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 la. La 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 la. Please be seated. This is such a beautiful world. Let's turn to page 148 when we look, if you go about halfway down, you see the words Borei Yom V'Layla, Golel Or Mipnei Choshech, V'Choshech Mipnei Or, on page 148. And this just reminds us of this incredible, beautiful world. I know that if I asked you what you saw today, you would tell me many things. How many of you saw the sky? How many of you saw some beautiful flowers? How many of you saw a bunny rabbit? Yep. Anybody see a dog, cat, geese, a goose or two, turkey? Okay. Everything's appropriate then. We're all good. So we will roll into dark, and then we're going to roll into light. And night becomes day, and day becomes night. And when it comes to the Hebrew part, that's you. Or you can sing any part you want. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day. Night becomes day. Day turns to light. Day turns to night. Roll into dark. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Roll into light. Night becomes day. Night becomes day. Day turns. Hooray.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to
Roll
night.
into dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Ahavat Olam reminds us that the gift of Torah and the gift of learning is central to Judaism. How many of you kids are in school already? How many of you start next week? How many of you start in September? Okay. How many of us are in college? How many of us started? Not yet? Tomorrow. How many of us want to keep learning things about life, about travel, about people, about ourselves? Let's begin. Sing along. Thank you. Torah umitzvot. Torah אהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. So we stand for Shema on page 152. You know, there's, as we center ourselves in Shema, which means hear, I heard today that the composer Tzvi Kapik, who lived a long, long life, a Polish immigrant to Israel, who wrote incredible edgy songs as well as liturgical songs, passed. And so it's in his honor and that I want us to sing his Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai. Shema Yisrael Adonai. Keep going, good part. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Let's turn to page 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinata levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivdecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim leloechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. Okay, let's see if we can go over a couple of the big commandments, the big ones that you know. Let's try to do the first 10. Okay, you should have no other gods before me. What's another one of the top 10? Top 10. What's that? Oh, don't kill. Okay, I'm with you on that. Another one? What's that? Don't keep your eyes on your own. Yeah, right there. What's another one? Yes, that's a good one. Another? You shall keep the Sabbath day. Yes. Anything else? We have a few more to go. Yeah, back there. Ray? What's that? Yeah. And also, while you're not stealing, stay faithful to the one that you have partnered with. Right? That's a nice version of that. What's that? No, no, no. I was just trying to get them all in there. Yes, in the back. Do we have another big commandment back there? What is it? What? Right. Leave nature alone. And while you're leaving nature alone, keep focused on nature and Mother Nature and not idols that make you think that there's something else more important than that, right? So those are the big ones. And I really like the one that Lamar told us, right? And so I want you to look at the top of page 3. Because those are the big 10, but there are a lot of other ones that we'll talk about that are considered lighter mitzvot. But let's read this one together from Pirkei Avot, which comes from the Mishnah, 2nd century, together. And be careful with a light commandment as with a more difficult one, for we don't know the reward for the fulfillment of the every commandment. And you don't know. You don't know. So there are lighter commandments, but are equally important. Could somebody give me one that is not part of the Big 10, but is incredibly important? Yes, in the back, birthday boy.
Don't cut your fingernails too close to the Sabbath.
Okay, that is a lighter commandment. Did you catch that? For those of you on Zoom, I'm not sure that you heard Bill's mitzvah of don't cut your fingernails too close before the Shabbat because you don't want them to grow. Is that what it? Something like that. He will explain more at Torah study tomorrow. Can you give me another light commandment that you think is light but is not at all? Yeah. Remember people who have died? Absolutely. What's another one that's not in the top 10? Be mindful of what goes into your mouth and be mindful of what comes out of your mouth. What's another one? Recognize the thou, the essence that we're all, inside we're all the same. Yep, in the back. Yep, that's a mitzvah. It says that in the Talmud, that we are to tell the bride, and I'm going to say the groom or whatever term is the beloved who's coming to, we say that they are exquisitely beautiful because that's the truth. In the eyes of the person that they are joining with, there is no one like them. Yep, in the back, Dina. Yep, that's in the Talmud. It says feed your animals before you feed yourself because they cannot go into the refrigerator. They cannot do it. I mean, you may think, but they can't. Yeah. Yes, that is a mitzvah. It's to teach your kid to swim. You know, symbolically, it means that they're going to be able to get through the waters of life, right? But yes, sir. Say, I can't hear what the mouse said. Don't turn to greed. Yep. Yep. Any other light commandment that you think is kind of over, that, you know, that you do, but it's not part of the big count? Yes, ma'am. Parents do what? Parents should feed their children. And you know what, sweetie? Later on, sometimes the children feed their parents. And that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Yes, sir.
Welcome the stranger, because we were all strangers.
Welcome the stranger, and you know, we don't even need the explanation why. Right? I mean, do you need to know it? Welcome. Well, Bruchim Habayim, welcome. Yeah, one more? Lamar, did you have another? Yes, that is a mitzvah. It says that we should welcome one another with a cheerful countenance. Yeah. So let's take those little mitzvahs together, and we're going to go to page 158. We're crossing the sea because we can swim. clapping to prayer is a mitzvah. Yeah, we just added that one. Let's turn to page 162. And remember, Shabbat is such a gift. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, לברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת וינפש, שבת, שבת וינפש, שבת, שבת וינפש. So we enter Tefillah together, page 164. Please stand. D minor, it's not in there, but you can fake it. La 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 la. La 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 la. Let's see it more. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 Adonai. La 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 Shvatim. La 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 Ufiyagi. Ufiyagi Tahilate. Together on page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Chanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo V'Yavam, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atagi Burle Lamarnai, Mechaye Metim Atarav Loshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al giburot umidamelach, melech memit umachaye umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atal hachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hametim, Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We're on page 172. Take your time. I might read a little, and you do the same, or find one word that speaks to you, or one letter. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Utei Adonai Eloheinu be'amacha Yisrael u'tehilatam be'ahava tekabel u'tahil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha Baruch atah Adonai Sha'otecha levadecha b'yira navod, navod, navod. Please be seated. On page 176, I'd like to invite all of us to gather a handful of today's blessings. A handful. That means start with 5. 5 things that interactions, moments by yourself or with other people or with other beings where you felt connected. So please take a moment to find 5 moments of connection that happened today. Page 177 together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. Let's continue on page 178 with Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha טסים לעולם, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, טסים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, טסים לעולם. טסים לעולם, טסים לעולם. I'm going to invite us all to turn to page 371. And Roberta, if you know how to adjust the air conditioning, who does? This is as adjusted as it is. How about that? We are as adjusted as we are. Well, no. I'm kind of enjoying being adjusted. My friends, we want to send our love to those in our community who are in need of healing. Melinda Foreman, Maggie Verano, Penny Clark, Janice Schulman, Bendon John Juliana Blue, Arlen Opper, Sandy Lewin, John Noxon, Faith Gobuddy, Laura Sender Lawrence, Bill Grisolia. Are there others that we are praying for from this section whose names I didn't say? This section? Yeah. Yes.
Rebecca Rutherford, Julie B., Stanley Carter, Tony Maynard, Sasha Spieler.
Page 371. Together. Misha Beirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Shebeherach imotenu Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with rich ruach shlema, a renewal of body, a renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. So it's a mitzvah to pray for people that are sick, right? Didn't make it into the top 10, but it's definitely, it's there. So you guys mentioned a number of littler or not as well-known mitzvot, especially the one about the fingernails in the back. But really, there are things that we overlook. We ekev, our heel goes over them. And I want to share with you that one of them is in the Torah portion, and that is, it says that when things are going really well, like everything's in its zone, everything's good, your gas tank is full, people are happening, things are good, you didn't get lost, you found your keys, everything's good, your investments are okay. And we may think it's all us. I did it. I watered my plants. I'm good. I did it, right? When actually the Torah says we need to remember that it is with God's help that any of that happened. Now, some of us are true blue God believer or whatever that means, and some of us know that there is an inner sense, an inner core, an essence that when we're connected with, it makes things much better. I have a little post-it that I got years ago that's right by my bathroom sink, and it says, God, help me remember that everything that comes my way today, no matter what comes my way, you and I can manage it. It starts my day. So Ekev is the reminder not to step over that one, right? Don't step over that one. So here's the story. Once upon a time, a long time ago, really long time ago, far away, there was a man who lived with his family, and they needed a cow. It's one of my favorite stories. And they needed a cow, and they needed it, and so they saved up their money, and he got his money, and he went, and he walked all the way, went through the forest, and all the way to the town, toward the town, saying, I'm going to buy a cow now, oh wow, I'm going to buy a cow. And you know, somebody who he didn't know approached him or walked by before he got into the center of town and said, what are you doing? What are you talking about? I'm going to buy a cow now, wow. He said, I'm going to go buy a cow. I've been saving up my money. I'm going to buy a big cow, oh wow, now. And the man said, really? Is that it? Yeah, I'm going to buy a cow. I'm going to buy a cow, oh wow, now. He went in. And he got to the area where people were selling their cows and found out that the one over there he really, really wanted. And he said, I want to buy that cow. I'm going to buy that cow now. Oh, wow. And he pulled out his wallet. And you know what? He forgot his money at home. Oh, my gosh. He was so bummed. He was very embarrassed. Anyway, he said, I'll be back. And he went back. And it took a lot of hours to get back to his home, you know, where he lived. And he lived like up the mountain somewhere. I don't know. So he saved up his money, and he couldn't even find where he left it the last time. But anyway, he went back again, and he got up, and he said, I'm going to buy a cow. I'm going to buy a cow now. Oh, wow, now I'm going to buy a cow. And he started walking toward the town. You know, it was a really hot day, kind of like today. What was it today? 100 and... It felt like, what was it? Hot. Hard to be adjusted, right? Anyway... So he got a little tired. He had water. Thank you, Donna. He drank it. He sat down next to a tree. And as he was about to doze off a little bit, he saw that man again. The man said, what are you doing? I thought I saw you before. He says, I'm going to buy a cow. Oh, wow, now I'm going to buy a cow after my nap. Is that all? Yeah, I'm going to buy a cow. I'm going to buy a cow now. Oh, wow. Now, after my nap. So he laid down, took a nice little nap under the tree. Felt so good. There was bark. There were like little bugs, but they didn't bother him because he was really tired. And then he woke up and he stretched and he went like this. You know, you stretch after a nap. Stretch after a nap. He shook it out. And he walked to town. It took about 4 more hours, but he just, I'm going to buy a cow. Oh, wow, now I'm going to buy a cow. And he gets to town, and he goes to the marketplace, and he sees the cow person selling cows, and he says, I want that one. Okay, get your money out. And you know what? He went into his backpack, reached into his backpack. There was no backpack. He must have left it over by the tree where he took his nap. Oh, my gosh, I was so embarrassed. He had to go back all the way home. Well, it took a while for him to save up money. Like, that was expensive, right? Anyway, he got it together, but he thought about it. I'm going to buy a cow. Oh, wow, now I'm going to buy a cow. With God's help, I'm going to buy a cow. Wow. So he changed his tune. And this time when he went into town, I'm going to buy a cow now. Oh, wow. Be'ezrat Hashem. With God's help, I'm going to buy a cow. With God's help, I'm going to buy a cow. And you know what? I'm going to buy a cow now. Oh, wow. With God's help, I'm going to buy a cow. And you know what? He saw that same guy again. And that, the guy started to look kind of familiar. By the way, you know who that guy was? Elijah the prophet, dressed up like a neighborhood guy. Elijah said, hey, how are you? I feel like I've seen you a couple of times. Yeah, you've seen me a couple of times. What are you doing? I'm going to buy a cow now. Wow. With God's help, I'm going to buy a cow because I have lost my money or I forgot to bring it the last 2 times. And clearly, I need to be centered on what I'm doing. I'm going to buy a cow now. Oh, wow. With God's help. So he gets all the way into town, goes to the market, finds the cow sales. He says, I want that one. I'm going to name it Norma. And it would cost this much money. He said, yeah, with God's help, I'm going to buy this cow. I took off his backpack, got out his wallet, paid the money. With God's help, he got his cow. Now, oh wow, named Norma. The point I want to share with you, my friends, is that it's very easy to ekev, to use our heel and walk over that place of remembering God or remembering to be centered. We get very busy with what we want to do and what we need to accomplish. So we take a deep breath. We try to be connected with something inside so that when we have a big thing to do, like homework, like getting to your first classes, like paying your bills, like remembering where you put your keys, like all the things that we do with God's help, I believe that it's, according to Torah, it makes it much better. Amen. So if you look in your handout, together we read by John Burroughs, the smallest deed accomplished is better than the greatest intention, right? The smallest deed that is accomplished is better than the greatest intention. So who's giving the announcements this evening? Mr. Dr. President Roy Schitzingle. Give him a hand. I simplified your announcements on the back of this handout, but you can look at these too, but these go faster.
With God's help, I'll give the announcements. Shabbat Shalom. It's really a delight to see so many people here. Thank you, Rabbi, for coming back. We're all glad to have you. So they're long, but I'll read them fast. So in light of the recent Center for Disease Control relaxation of federal COVID guidelines, and as there are no current local health orders from the Sacramento County Public Health Department or the public school requirements to wear masks, CBS is now no longer requiring masks at indoor events. However, we do continue to encourage all those attendees to wear masks, exercise social distancing, and refrain from in-person attendance if you're ill with any potential COVID symptoms. Welcome back, Rabbi Nancy. Thank you, of course, for tonight's lovely service and the music accompaniment. Amazing. Who is that Nwangan kid? Really great. Friday night services here on in, other than the first Friday of the month, which are at 6 o'clock, because they're family Shabbats, will be at 7 o'clock in person and on Zoom, and we appreciate and are glad to continue to have people join us on Zoom. Torah study tomorrow morning and every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Zoom with Rabbi Nancy, and you may find that link on our website. Matt Kurtz, I think we've already thanked him a couple times, but again, for amazing, delicious, and welcoming Shabbat dinner, and thanks to Sue and Carl Miller for contributions to the barbecue. Thank you to Oneg Shabbat, Roy and Sarah Schutzengel, Carl and Sue Miller, Sharon Bernstein, and Morris Newman. Choir rehearsal this Wednesday, and I want to say every Wednesday, but I know there's some Wednesdays that it isn't, but it's 6:30. You're all welcome to join. As I've said in the past, the requirement to join our choir is showing up. So you don't need to have a great voice, you just have to have energy and willingness to join, and we are delighted to have you. There will be a CBS board meeting next Thursday, a week from yesterday. It's August 25th at 7 p.m. It's on Zoom. It's open to anyone in the congregation to join us. And if you need to find the link, or if you can't find the link, reach out to Jenny Jeffrey, our administrator, and she'll send you the link directly. Sunday, August 28th, that's a week from day after tomorrow. Neshama, back in session. There was information brochures. Hopefully all those who have children pick them up. And you can reach out to our co-directors, Sarah Rollins or Ben Gould, who are manning the booth today, for questions and to register your children. We have another amazing year in store for all of our young families. Our anonymous donor is making yet another challenge to encourage Teruma financial gifts to the CBS during the month of August. So for any friend or congregant or just supporter of CBS, or anyone who you want to tell them how great we are and they want to support it, if they give a contribution in August, before August 31st, and that's their first contribution in this fiscal year, meaning since July 1st, every dollar up to $100 that they donate will be matched by that donor. So just encourage people to give money. On Sunday, September 18th, anyone know what that is? Food fair. So that's when you get to pick up your orders. But when do you have to place your orders? By September 4th, only a couple weeks away. And at midnight on September 4th, the website gets turned off because we have to total the orders and we have to make sure there's any last minute baking if we didn't have as much was ordered. So on September 5th, you wake up, too late. So put in your orders, and there's lots of new items and there's your favorite items, so please look. And again, there was handouts about food fair in the back, and there was a URL code, or you can just go to our website to click away. If you have a large ice chest that you can lend to the temple until the day after food fair, please bring it by, leave it with Jenny Jeffries, because on the day of food fair, they'll be packing things and they will need those ice chests. And there is still some opportunities for last minute baking, particularly for some of the cakes. You may have seen the pans around. There also is a need for people to help packaging the orders and putting them together the day before, and running out to cars when people come to pick them up. I did that last year in the pouring rain. I'm hoping it isn't raining this year, but if it is, I'm there without an umbrella doing it again. So if you're interested in helping, please again, let Jenny Jeffrey know. I'm no longer announcing the sign-up genius, because now it's time to actually just call and say, I'm there. I want to thank Rhea, who pushed me for months to get name tags. I think it's lovely that everybody has them, and that, you know, you can walk up to someone that you probably should know, but you forgot their name, or someone you don't know and you want to greet them. At the end of the service, please leave them in the basket so we can reuse them. We'll re-alphabetize them for the next time you're here. And for anyone who didn't have a name tag already made because they weren't on our membership list or we didn't get to finishing all of them, they will be made because we wrote down your name the next time you come here. So please come frequently and use those name tags. I hope they get worn out so we have to make you a new one. I think that's all the announcements.
Roy, one more. I'd like to remind people that Roy and I will be here Sunday afternoon in our wonderful air-conditioned kitchen we'll be making 360 crepes. So if you'd like to join Roy and I, let us know at the.
Well, actually, I think they're blintzes, and the official event is Blintzes with Bob.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Wow. Lots. Okay, take this home, right? And while we're doing all these shout outs, Rick Snyder, nice to work with you. All right, let's move toward the last two prayers of our service. Aleinu, followed by the Kaddish prayer.
Just in case you're not up to eat beforehand, there is a huge spread of desserts out there for Oneg after service. Please make sure you make it.
You know, Oneg always motivated me, and that's why I'm a. No, okay. Please join me, page 586, stand for Aleinu. Could I have some kids help me open the ark? Any kids who's here, help open the ark. Any child, please help me open the ark. Thank you. Thank you. Can you open the ark? Okay. Sideways. Can you help too? Okay, good job. All right. And you can stay up here to the end. Can you do that? And count how many Torahs and see what letters you know? Okay. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotze breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot adama, shelo samchokenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim veyoser haaretz umoshev yikaro bashamayim mima'al ushchinatu zo begovhei meromim hu Eloheinu ein od emet malkeinu evesulato Kakatu v'torato v'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha ki Adonai hua Elohim b'shamayim mima'al ve'al ha'aretz mitachat einod v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz bayom ha'hu Please be seated. My friends, we remember with love, with much love, those who have passed within the 11 months. Chris Bagoon, Cecile Ash, Chris Wynot, Ethan Nava, Bernard Elliott Ezralu, Judah Spivak, Bill McDonald, Alan Blickstein, Carol Trachtenberg, Danielle Yashby, Jean Rubin, Sarah Lipson, Karina Blue, Robin Ash, Ricky Joe Miller, Victor Gabriel, Ida Brody, Jen Garcia, Mark Kane, Ami Lustig, Carl Saperstein, Bob Unger. And we remember the yard sites of Richard Bloom, Elizabeth Cantor, William Kapitman, Harry Dresner, Herschel Fears, Betty Klein Friedman, Natalie Guinness, Norman Glenn, Sandra Halpert, Joseph Hirsch, Saul Calamaris, Yaakov Malin, Eddie Marcus, Dennis Mathett, Beverly Myers, Stephen Robbie, Erwin Rosenfeld, Lynette Stein, Ilana Stein, Ron Tillman, Alex Wexler. Are there any other yard sites from our friends on Zoom?
Harriet Baum says that it is her mother's yard sign today.
Eh.
22 of Baum.
Hyman Rakeland,
Okay.
my father. Mhm.
Okay. Any other yard sites or recent passings in our community? Please stand in that person's honor. Speak up. We remember all those who have lost their lives in these insane wars in our country, and the inner fighting in our country and in the world, those who have lost their lives in Ukraine, Middle East. We remember our 6 million. We stand as one. And we pray together, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach hirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayei uvyomei uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei amaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh Vitadar vit ale vit halal shemed kudusha brichu la'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'miran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. V'aseh shalom v'malal v'aseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael. Please be seated. My friends, I'm going to ask you to turn, please, in your Siddur to page 657. It's really a song of hope. Even though we don't have complete wholeness and peace, it will yet come. And we say salam, and we say shalom. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ve'alav. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ve'alav. Salam. Aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam. Shalom. Salam. Aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam. Shalom. Ojavo. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ve'alav. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Please stand. Salam. Aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam. Shalom. Salam. Aleinu ve'akol ha'olam. Salam. Shalom. Last time. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ve'alav. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ve'alav. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom to my friends on Zoom. Shabbat shalom to all of us. Go enjoy some oneg. I'll be out there in a second. Jake Nalangan, what a gift, David Meyer. Thank you so much. Oh, Shabbat Shalom Aleichem. 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 Take it.